welcome to the I Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Dowston, and we are here with our weekly I Ching overview. Come and join me for the week commencing the 29th of April 2024. Last few days of April into May, let's do it. And of course, before we get into the week's overview, we look back. We look back particularly at last week. It was a big energy week. We had 43 breakthrough, the opportunity to part with the past, to make a decision, to move forward. And we had that changing line that was like, now, do it. Don't be afraid to be radical. Don't be afraid to take action. You have to make a decision. You have to do it. Something we were all forced to deal with, okay, and allowing us to move forward and bring in that strength of Hexagram 34, that power to power through, power up the tools and power through the challenge and just make huge progress in the week. So, wow, I hope it was a powerful, positive week where despite this urgency around something we've been procrastinating on, we took action and it just liberated us to use our strength and to just accelerate forward. That's what I affirm for us all, without, of course, hurting anyone along the way unnecessarily. So, as we move past that energy, we work with a new cycle of change this week. Okay, very different to the last few weeks, where it was power, movement, shake-up, energy, which is good and interesting at the same time. Hexagram 23, stripping or splitting apart. Okay, this hexagram tells us the story of what happens when our lives, our businesses, our teams become too heavily burdened with old, outmoded things, old, useless things that accumulate, and they all have a weight to them, they all have energy locked in them, and they pressure, and they threaten to collapse the structure. The structure is not strong enough. You look at this hexagram, there's a whole lot of female lines and a male line right at the top, right? And it's really threatening to collapse because there's all this junk, okay, sitting on us, sitting in the situation. All this accumulated riffraff. So this hexagram comes in two packages in my mind. Maybe for us it comes in both packages this week. Let's see what happens. Option one is we take personal responsibility for getting rid of the excess, the unnecessary, and old outmoded ways of thinking. We take the pruning shears and we go to that tree and we trim all the branches that we can prepare the tree to sprout stronger than ever next cycle. There's no better way of understanding what this hexagram is asking us to do than that. If you don't prune the tree, like if you don't cut it back in one season, in the next season, it struggles to produce the fruit. Simple idea. Very difficult to implement when the old branches on the tree are the old ways of approaching things, our old habits around our old ways of thinking, locked ideas, erroneous belief systems that have kept us enslaved and kept us under this weight because we can't move forward. We can't be agile and mobile and clever and, dynamic when we are burdened down with this giant zip-up sumo wrestling outfit, okay, sumo suit of all things. The symbolism of this hexagram is graphic, but it talks about taking the flesh right down to the bone, cutting back, peeling back all the excess flesh, the rotting flesh, the old flesh, and you get rid of it, and you get right down to the bare bones. So there's a process here of getting back to what's really important, getting back to the bare bones of what's important, right? And cutting off, sloughing off all the old dead stuff. Work to do, all right? So that's one scenario. Scenario two is we avoid the issue, or we've left it so late that the universe, or whatever name you want to call it, says, we're going to do it for you. Okay. We've all had situations where something happens, okay, and there's a collapse that happens. Some aspect of our lives is a collapse, right? Everything unravels. And when we look at it with new, fresh eyes after the fact, we realize it happened because we weren't approaching it the right way. We didn't see what was coming. We were stuck in our old view. We didn't ask for help. We didn't ask for perspective. We were just in an old frame of mind stuck with old issues and we were not willing to do the work to get rid of them. And we've all been there. I've been there, you've been there. So this is what this hexagram is connecting us to, this idea that if we don't take responsibility for it, and maybe it's too late, the universe will do it for us. If we experience the collapse, okay, this week, or as the weeks to come, connected to this week, just be at peace with it. Trust that whenever we have this collapse with this hexagram, it's coming to liberate us out of the old, outmoded ways of thinking, the old stuff, right? The old dead wood. All right? The lightning bolt is coming to prune the tree for us, and we might feel very kind of fragile coming out of the end of it, but it's been done. Okay. We just need to be at peace with the process and trust that the unraveling has come to show us what is strong and what is not strong, and what is not strong, what is not permanent, what's not part of your future, the next phase of life needs to go. Okay. Brutal energy, but really, really important for us. We have one changing line in the 5th position. Once again, a strong position, and we had the same single line position last week. So it's kind of kept and carried over from last week's energy. And this one is a positive line in the midst of splitting apart, right? Stripping, okay? There's this energy of pull it all together now. Take all the bits that you've been working on, pull it together, focus it, have your vision, all right? And move forward with it, because there's blessings and opportunity that come from being able to do this. So last week's position, line 5, was, all right, do it now. There's something urgent that needs to be done. Don't be afraid to do it. Just do it. Just tackle it and embrace the change and move through it. This line says bring it all together. Bring all the pieces of your vision together. Bring it together and move with it. Okay, there's a wonderful energy of giving us permission to move forward with what it is we're trying to create. To bring all the pieces together, bring the people together, bring the ideas together, mobilize it, okay, and move forward. And really speaks to a time of the darkness giving way to the light, okay? The difficulty and the instability we feel in this hexagram inherently starting to shift towards something else. And what is that something else? Well, that line 5 changes. If you can visualize, what happens if we turn that 5th female line into a male line? We have a repeat from a few weeks ago. Yes, because it's hexagram 20, contemplation. Okay, the bigger picture, climbing to the top of the tower, seeing things in a new way, seeing things in a bigger perspective, being the eagle, not the mouse caught up in the grains of sand, all right? But being the eagle, seeing the mouse, but also seeing everything else, seeing the bigger picture and how the future fits together. So with whatever the collapse is, okay, whatever this thing is that is collapsing, right, the old structures that are falling away, you let them tumble, you let them fall down, you take what is important and essential, the bones, and you pull them together, the changing line, pull them together, all right? Profit and fertility is hidden in this change process, okay? We move forward with that energy and we reach to the tower as our instrument, as our path to victory. It's come back again as an outcome hexagram, a few weeks apart, because it's giving us this view, okay, of stay focused on the bigger picture. That is the path to victory in this. Despite where things might be falling apart, old associations, old issues, old out ways of doing things, embracing the new, that energy of things sloughing off, right, and just disappearing and collapsing, and we emerge out of that. We've pulled things together, we've pulled our vision and people together to achieve it, and we move forward because we've got our view on the bigger picture. And that is essential as we work with this week, as we wrap into May, as we start the new month with a new energy. We move forward with this focus and this vision of not just what our bigger picture is, but how we might role model that bigger picture for others, and how we become a vehicle, a symbol for others to see what might be possible. The symbol of the tree on the hill, a beacon for all to orientate themselves towards. Right, what a few weeks we have had here as we wrap up the last weekly for April. Let's get into the May overview very, very soon and into our May episodes. perhaps just reconnect with April's overviews. We wrap up the month, see where you were, see where you are now as you worked with this idea of decrease, okay, throughout the whole of the month, and the completion and the closing off that we've been doing, and let's move forward. Thank you so much. Like, thumbs up would be great. Really appreciate that. Helps the channel, helps me, and of course, subscribe and follow if you are new to the channel to get your weekly episodes straight into your app. I'll see you very soon for our May overview. What is in store for the month? Have you tuned into the energy yet? Can you feel it? Oh, let's get stuck into it very soon.